So today we are talking about some more PlayStation 2 games. We are going through my collection, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out the previous episodes because there are some really good gems. And today we are starting with Boring Time LMA Manager 2005, another manager game. Not that much to say about that. If you see this, yeah, it still looks better than Football Manager nowadays. There are some cool iToy camera stuff, so you can put yourself in the game, and it's updated with a bunch of different graphic options. One of the good things about this game is that a bunch of stuff is actually licensed, and you can also see, like, you can build your own stadiums, and there are some cool features. And if you check this out, there is also a catalog, so how much it changed since 2002. Well, you can see there is another Codemasters stuff. There is Colin McRae Rally 04. There is the weird club football series, which had like each football club had their own football game, which is pretty fun. So basically you just buy the edition of your favorite team, like you buy a Leeds United one and you can play as Leeds United or Bayern or whatever. I really want to pick up one of these or two of these or a couple of these games as much as I can pick up, because I would like to see like what it's about, like how you build around just one team, because I guess there are just really a lot of fun features in that. And then of course there is LMA Manager 2004, the previous year's one. This is okay, that's weird. Pop Idol, I guess there's a video game about it. Downhill Domination, that's kind of a classic sort of off-road game. MTV Music Generation, IndyCar, Snooker, just some, is there more pages? Probably not. Yeah, so that's the Codemasters catalog. Yeah, back in the day they had games had manuals, of course, and this game also has, as you can see with this symbol, has online features, so you can download like updates and whatnot, or at least you used to be able to do that, but now it's a 20-year-old game, so there is no chance of anyone downloading anything anymore, which is a shame, because these are pretty fun stuff. And you know, somebody was a Chelsea fan and they put some Chelsea stickers in my game. Next up is something that was actually published by Sony in some places, and this is Mad Maestro. It's a weird one. It's one of the first games I ever played on the PlayStation 2, and I have to say it's weird. It's a rhythm game where you basically have a big mega concert. You are a conductor, and then you do stuff with it. I don't know. I haven't really gotten into it. I couldn't really wrap my head around the whole concept of playing of rhythm games back in the day. Maybe I give it a go again soon. And it's actually something that Sony didn't forget. So this game is featured in Astrobot. Like Mad Maestro is featured in one of the guest bots in the game. So that's pretty cool. Next two games are interesting. I have this. This is my only US copy, like NTSC U copy, PlayStation 2 games. But yeah, these are cult classics, Manhunt and Manhunt 2. A lot of controversies, a lot of crazy stuff about these games. Basically, you are a serial killer and you brutally execute a bunch of people, I guess. I don't know. The game is really janky, but I don't know, kind of fun and over the top violent. And then the second game was even more depraved and crazy. So yeah, as you can see, some really insane stuff is in there. I'm not sure if they ever want to capture this type of game again at Rockstar. As you can see, the disc is really cool. There is a really nice and colorful manual with a bunch of stuff. You can see the Rockstar logo in there. It's like a patience or criminally insane, yeah, like an asylum's document. It's pretty cool stuff. And it's not something that I think Rockstar or any company will probably ever do, because it's just something that's kind of taboo anymore to make games like this. Even this game has been banned in a bunch of countries, and there was a lot of controversy about that. There was some like criminal investigation as well, like some kid played this game and suffocated his brother or something. So yeah, it's not the best game ever, but it's at least it's well known, and a lot of people know about this. And next one is Master Rally. So I think this is like a European exclusive game, because we had a lot of rally games on the PlayStation 2, and I have quite a few myself. As you see in the one of the previous episodes, I talk about Colin McRae Rally, and this one is kind of similar to that. So Master Rallies, I think it's something like a huge. It used to be like for a couple of years. It was like a big event, I guess. Master Rally. It never really took off that much, but it was basically about how I think it's like across Europe you can go. They went, and then it's like it's kind of like Dakar Rally, and the game is similar to the Paris Dakar Rally games. I remember that the controls didn't really feel that good. It wasn't really the best, and it's just a one-off release by Microids and Wanadu and Steel Monkeys. And the next one is an absolute classic, though. Next two games, actually. This is the Max Payne series, the first two episodes, and I have to say these are great games. I played them on the PC, and on the PC they are really good. On the PS2 it's not really that good. The first game is actually really, it has a lot of most of the content that the PC game had, but it divides the stages of the game. So there is a lot of stopping and a lot of loading screens, and they actually had to divide a bunch of the stages because they just couldn't fit into the RAM. So this is a pretty bad version of the game. If you want to play it, the best version is of course on the PC. The second is better on PS2, but you can see that the game is really limited in a lot of ways. But Max Payne 2 is also a really cool title, absolute classic, and I'm really happy that Remedy is remaking the game. Remedy is the company who's responsible for Alan Wake, Control, Quantum Break, and they are making for Rockstar actually, they are making a remake of the first game at least, but I'm sure that they are also making a second game's remaster. So that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. And the next one is Capcom's Maximo. Weirdly enough, it doesn't have a age rating on the box. Okay, that's weird. Maximo, it is a spiritual successor to the Ghosts and Goblins series. So, yeah, this is a difficult game. It's an action RPG, so, items and skeletons and whatnot. This is a cool one. There is also a sequel on PlayStation 2 for this game. I mean, look at that. Maximo looks pissed. I actually haven't really played this game that much. Oh my god, it's really scratched up. But it works, I tested it. It's a fine game. I'm not really into this sort of RPG gameplay. The next one is the Medal of Honor series. So this was basically EA's Call of Duty. But it predates Call of Duty. So it started in the PS1 era. And then it became like really big in the PS2 era. But it never really could reach the highs as the COD series. So it just got stuck, and basically it stopped altogether. And they are not even making Medal of Honor games right now. They always try to represent war in a realistic way, like historical accuracies and battles and whatnot. And they succeeded for the most part. But after this era, which was the final and probably the best era of this, they really struggled in the HD on the HD consoles to what to do about these games. And the next one is the Mercenaries series. So yeah, like Pandemic and EA and LucasArts, they were working together to create these like open world sort of action. Oh, come on, focus. Focus! This sort of action, playground, open world titles, and they are pretty cool. I have to admit, sadly, Pandemic doesn't work anymore, and Mercenaries 2 was really like open world and bunch of interesting stuff in there, kind of like the predecessor to something like Just Cause. But then after the second game, it's like it never really took off that much for EA, and then they closed Pandemic a couple of years later, so that's just whatever. But yeah, LucasArts was the first one that was working together with Pandemic, and then the second one was with EA, so that's kind of interesting. Okay, so here are the big ones: Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, and then Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, a Hideo Kojima game. So yeah, these are like some of the best PlayStation 2 games of all time, and with I'm confident that they are still considered really good. Metal Gear is basically took off on the PS1. I only played the first game so far, but I really want to continue the series because I really enjoyed that game. As you can see, this is in like a clear case, and it comes with two discs. One is the making of DVD, and then the other is the game itself. It's like nice, colorful manual with a comic book. It's sadly the German version, but that's pretty cool. And then Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. That one's a really awesome release as well, because you can see it's just a clear case, and I haven't really seen any other game with clear case before. There is even like an inside cover stuff, and then you can see it starts with a comic book also. I think this is like a prequel comic book probably, and then lots of like really detailed stuff, because this is Metal Gear. There always have to be some sort of Easter egg on the cover. Like in the first game, you saw that you have to check the back of the box to have the radio frequency. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing these games for the first time in my life. I don't have nostalgia for them, but I heard this is a great series, and it's in my future plans to play through all of the Metal Gear games. And just a couple of days ago, MGS3 came out on the new generation, like a remake, so that's also exciting. Next one is another Rockstar games. I guess we are talking about a lot of Rockstar games. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. Now, I haven't played this one, but I know that the Midnight Club series was something that was really popular, and especially in the early 2000s, this sort of like mod car culture was really big. The Fast and Furious movies, and of course Need for Speed. And Midnight Club is something that's positioned there. As you can see, this is again a nice and colorful manual. I'm really missing this kind of stuff. This is a German release, of course, but I still have to play this because I haven't played this yet. The next two actually, are two of the collections that I have for the PS2. So I already talked about the Atari Anthology, I already talked about the Intellivision one. This is also pretty cool. This is the Midway Arcade Treasure series. I don't have the third one, that's pretty rare, but basically 20 arcade games per piece. So you can have like Spy Hunter, Defender, Joust, Sinistar, Paperboy, Marble Madness, Smash TV, Gauntlet, Rampart, Just, Root Beer Tapper is one of my favorites, and of course Robotron 2084. Midway used to make such fantastic arcade games, just like crazy good. They had some of the best ones like Rampage, and if you check out the other one, this has Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, which are usually pretty rare, so they don't really release those old games that much. But it comes with a bunch of extras like commercials, and of course the second one has Total Carnage, Wizard of War, Primal Rage. So again, absolute classics, and like 20 games in one package, these are really worth it. They have interesting menus, they have interesting features, a bunch of extras in there. I don't have the third one, and I really want to get it. But the third is mostly, as far as I remember, are racing games, like the San Francisco whatever and Rush and whatnot. So, but these two are just great, and they have really good emulated versions. Although the PS3 had Midway Arcade Origins, and I always recommend that because that is an amazing release. And that's it for today. This is the the letter M squad, I guess. There is a lot of great games here, like Max Payne and Metal Gear Solid, Midway Arcade Treasures, without really realizing there is a lot of Rockstar games in here. But if you want my recommendation, I would really recommend the Midway Arcade Treasures series. They have some fantastic arcade games. If you just want to have fun, play something that's skill based, and then play something that's really cool. The Midway arcade games are always great, and of course, Metal Gear is a classic. And don't forget about Max Payne, because they are just great in storytelling. These are just really interesting and fantastic games. And if you haven't played Max Payne, but you've already played Alan Wake or Control, something like that, the style is really similar, and I think they still hold up very well. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope I see you next time.